Welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast, and we want to talk about the NFL Players Association. They came out with their annual team report cards. So what they do is they poll the players on different subjects that they questions that they ask, and uh, Steelers did not do good. Actually, the Steelers out of 32 teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers were ranked 28th. And that's very alarming. That's very alarming. Some of the things that and we're gonna go over these grades. Some of the things, I get it. Just as a player, and you see other teams doing that and this, and so you have a lot of that. But it's a few things on here that's very alarming that I think actually has an effect on the field. I mean, it has effect on the product that this Pittsburgh Steelers put out every Sunday, and I just think it's something that needs to be changed. This is I know for a fact this is the second year in a row that they have not got a good grade. And if I'm Mr. Rooney, this should be a wake up call because this is not like this is something that's voted by different players from all over the league. This is your guys. These are your guys in your locker room, saying this stuff and letting it be known that at this point right now they don't really believe in him, and that's an issue. And at some point, what I would love to see is I I just hope that because for one thing, the Rooney's are not selling the Steelers. I mean, this is going to be in the Rooney's families for as long as this league is going, and I get that. I get that because a lot of people say, well, they should just sell it, but you can't tell people how to run their business and all that type stuff. But what I will say, I just hope whoever's next in line to take over for the Steelers, that they just have a whole different mentality. Because right now, this this funk that the Steelers are stuck in, it's not good, and it's not going to lead to anything good. I hate to say it. I don't see. Yeah, will they be a decent team? Will they win 9, 10, 11 games? Absolutely. Absolutely they will. But I think that's about what all they're going to do. I really don't see this team pushing it to the next level. And I just think at some point, this hopefully whoever is the next person up for the Roonies, they just come with a whole total fresh ideas. Get out this, get out this things we did in the 70s and all that. Like why are the Pittsburgh Steelers and to be honest and to be fair, this might not even be Mr. Rooney. This could just be Mike Tomlin. But why are we worried about um not issuing the number 1 or the number 0? To me that's high school. That's I mean high schools do it now, but to me that stuff is just high school, because back in high school, the coach say, I don't want nobody wearing the number 1 because there's no individuals, this, and that. So, I mean, like that type stuff. Steelers need to get off of that. Just I feel like sometimes they concentrate on things that they really shouldn't be concentrating on. I mean, so hopefully when they look at this report card, maybe that will kind of open up their minds a little bit to say, hey, we need to really change and do better and spend some money. I mean, at the end of the day, That's all it is. Spend some money. Um, that's what it really comes down to. Spending that money. For some reason they don't want to spend it. But like I say, just when we go over this stuff, it's kind of alarming. It's very alarming, but it's a few things that you're going to see that I believe that it affects the bottom line, and it affects what goes on the field. So with that said, let's go to it. All right. So as you can see, um, National Players NFL Players Association did a report card. The Pittsburgh Steelers ranked 28th out of 32 teams. So back in the day, it used to be 28 teams, so they would have been dead last. But so that's right there is not that's alarming. That's really alarming to me. And like I say, if I'm the Rooneys, I wouldn't really like this because at the end of the day, your players are voting on this. This is your players basically telling you and telling the whole world, this is what we think about the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is what we think about our owner. All right, so the first one, treatment of families. So this is basically game day environment. This is like game day stuff. So, at the games, probably I, I don't know, maybe the section that the family sits in. It could be I I know one thing where some teams actually have a daycare for the kids during the game. Um, so this could just be a lot of stuff, but I really believe this is more game day atmosphere. Um, to me, this don't really affect the bottom line of if your team gonna win or not. Excuse me. The only thing it could really affect is maybe getting a free agent. I mean that that this could be something that, hey, if a guy come here, he visit the Steelers and he looks around this and that. Then the wife say, hey, what, do y'all offer this and y'all offer that? We don't offer none of that stuff. You could maybe eventually, I mean, like I say, at the end of the day, money talks. So, but you could lose a player, off something like that. So again, let's see where the Steelers at. They got a C minus, so they ranked 26. So that they came in 26 in that. So again, they're in the bottom half of that ranking. All right, let's move on. Food and dining area. So this would probably be more of at the facility, not so much at the stadium per se. Well, the food, whatever they serving at the stadium, but this is probably the main thing. Is probably the dining area and the food that they're serving the players every day and at the facility, breakfast, all that type stuff. So again, important. I mean, guys, they spend a lot of time. They spend a lot of time there, and to be honest, probably some of the younger guys that they ain't really had no family here in town with them. I'm quite sure them guys coming home with boxes of food. So that's important. Let's see what the Steelers rank at here. B minus, B minus, 21st, still somewhat in that lower half, but a B minus. So basically, the players saying the food is pretty good, and you can't go wrong there. Can't go wrong there. Um, you can see that they can make a little bit more, a little improvement, but they have a B minus. Not bad, not bad. the nutrition and dietitian. This is one of the things that I believe affects the field. This is part of affecting the field. So this is gonna be your guys that maybe need to be on a diet, guys that maybe need to gain weight, guys that you know, do y'all have a smoothie bar? Do y'all offer that, at the workouts and at the practice and all that type stuff. So this is something that I think this affects the what's going on the field. So let's see where they ranked here. C plus, 30th, almost dead last on this. So the players are basically saying it's not up to par. It's not up to par, as far as they're getting their nutrition. It's not up to par, and that's alarming. So that's something that if I'm the Roonies, I'm looking at, and hey, we got to fix this. We got to fix this, because this is something that I can tie in directly into how we play every day. Locker room. Okay. So this again, probably not so much the stadium, because the stadium locker room. I mean, at the end of the day, all the guys want to know if they got hot water to take a hot shower. Because the locker room at the stadium, you're not spending no time there. You're just there on Sunday after the game. You're taking a quick shower, and you're out of there. So this is really the facility. Um, And this is huge, because those guys spend a lot of time in the facility. And the locker room is kind of like the players, that's their space. That's their space. I mean, you get a little time where the media comes in, do interviews, but once the media is out of there, for the most part, that's the players' space for them to relax, goof around, and whatever they do. And they want to be comfortable. They want to be comfortable. They want to have they want to have barbershop in there. Maybe I don't know. Like I say, you can't get it confused with college, but you know they might want a PlayStation in there. Who knows? But this is their world, and to me, this is where your money needs to be spent, to make those guys as comfortable as you can. Because like I say, they spend a lot of time. They spend a lot of time in the facility, and you actually want the guys. You want to make it comfortable, because you kind of want to keep them there. I mean, not keep. I mean, when I say keep them there, hey, if I know that that this is nice, and I can go watch film, and I might hang out a little bit longer. So let's see what the Steelers got. A D, a D minus, DD. So I think the biggest problem here, and you're gonna see in some of these grades, the biggest problem here is the Steelers don't have any room. So they might not even have the room to actually make a bigger locker room, and we'll get to that. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But they ranked 27th, again, the bottom half of the league. The training room. So the training room, that's where you're gonna go do your rehab and all that type stuff, and bumps and bruises, and gonna see the doctor. If you're sick, you can go see the team doctor. So the training room. Let's see what the grade was here. C plus, ranked 25th. Again, I feel like this is something that affects the play on the field. So this is something that if I'm the owner, I'm really taking note. I'm really taking note of this because at the end of the day, if guys feel like they're not getting enough, in the training room, that's an issue. That's an issue and that's a problem. Training staff. So this is the staff that works in the training room. So let's see what we got here. The B, 18th, about the middle of the pack. So the guys are telling you we ain't really got too much of a problem with the trainers that we have. Got pretty decent trainers, but they got a jacked up facility, So that's again, that's something the owner has to look at and say, what can I do to make this better? Weight room, okay. Everybody know what the weight room is. This is probably out of all this stuff, this is probably the number one thing that affects your play on the field. And so we'll see. We'll see let's see where the Steelers rank on this. C plus, 28th, bottom half of the league. Again, that's a problem. If I'm the owner, what can we do to make this better? Because we need to give our guys the best of the best. And you're probably talking, all the different type weights and all that type stuff. But it's something going on in there that the guys are like, this is fair. And again, I believe a lot of it is there's no room. Strength coaches. So the guys that work in the weight room, these guys that work in the weight room, do we really feel like these guys are helping us and making us stronger and everything's good? Let's see. C minus, dead last. So basically, these players are saying we have the worst strength and conditioning coaches in the league. This is a major, major problem. And again, with this, I'm not even gonna say. I mean, the Rooneys, they're part of this, but again, this falls on Mike Tomlin. This falls on Mike Tomlin. And if your players are telling you that we have the worst strength coaches, that's a problem. That is a problem. And then to be honest, when you look at the Steelers, when you look how they play, this team is not the physical Pittsburgh Steelers. They ain't pushing teams around and all that. So you can see it. You can actually see it. So that's a big problem. Team travel. Again, I'm not gonna really say this affects um, the field. What happens on the field, because for the most part, regardless of what their issues may be, I know they're staying in a nice hotel. Um, I know they got charter flights, so I don't really know. I mean, what the gripe is here, but this is something that you know players B plus. So they're saying that for the most part, we travel good, we fly good. They 15th, that's about middle of the pack there. Um, it's no problem. I mean, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Head coach, and this is a funny one here. So the head coach, how do the players feel about their head coach? Now you know how the fans feel. You know how I admit that. I mean, I like Mike Tomlin, but I'm a little down on him. I'm a little down on him, but let's see how his players feel about him. A, they love him. ranked seventh, almost the top. Um, hey, they got to deal with him every day. They have to deal with him every day. So the players say they love him, they love him, but um, this is something. But then again, though, this is something that the Rooneys look at and they say, well, everybody's saying Tom need to go, but when we see this, no, the players love him. He haven't lost the locker room, so we're gonna keep him. But whatever. So that's actually good. Ownership. So this is what the players feel about their owner. Um, the trust they have in their owner. Do they believe their owner is really dedicated to winning and want to make things better? Let's see how the Pittsburgh Steelers feel about their owner. D, 28th. So if I'm Mr. Rooney, he has to take a big look at this, a serious look at this, and say, damn, D for damn. My players basically telling me I'm terrible. They're telling me that they don't really have no faith in me for me to make things better, or I even want to make things better. Now, I've been to Pittsburgh a couple of times. Now, I don't know the city all like that, but it has to be somewhere in that city or close to that city, a plot of land where the Pittsburgh Steelers could buy and build them a new facility and practice fields, because that facility they have splitting that with Pitt is not the answer. And this is probably why a lot of their grades are low with the weight room, training room, because you're not now. I've never been on the Steelers side, but I've been on the Pitt side, and they're basically identical. So what you see over in Pitt is basically what the Steelers have. I mean, I'm quite sure it's some few things that's probably a little different, but for the most part, what you see is what you get. And that's just not it's not enough room. Everything is tight. Um so that's something that the Rooneys just got to look at and say, hey, we need to move out, or if Pitt moves out and they can get that whole building, something needs to change. I would probably say that the Steelers probably could move before Pitt could move, and the Steelers need to move into a place that's theirs. That way, you can design it, make it big enough, a bigger weight room, bigger training room, and I think those grades will go up, because like I say, I truly believe that they're they don't have any room. They don't really have any room to make anything better. So um that's just an issue. So I think the players probably believe that this is something Mr. Rooney not gonna do. He's not gonna spend the money. They probably feel like he's not gonna spend the money to make this um a better situation. And to me, if I'm the owner, I'm looking at I'm they got and you the Pittsburgh Steelers. You one of the most popular teams in the league and in the world. So that's just that ain't cool, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this time he'll see this stuff and try to do something, but it has to be some property somewhere around that city that the Steelers can move and build a state of art facility. And will it ever happen? Who knows? Probably not. But that's I think that's probably their main reason for having the low grades that they have. But with that said, that's it for now. I will talk to you guys later. Take care.